than not, you will find a fragrance that you really, really like. But then you'll see the price tag. No bueno. Today I'll be bringing to you 5 fragrances that are cheap alternatives to much more expensive fragrances. Kind of the don't buy that, buy this kind of video. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? My name is Joshua, and this is our channel, ScentSense. All loyal subscribers and viewers out there, I thank you so much. And to all you new people who may be on the fence and haven't decided if you want to stick around, this is a channel all about fragrance, all about the love of fragrance. I'm no different than you. I just so happen to stand in front of a camera. So if you're into talking about fragrances and it's 2020 and we can't really, see each other in person, stick around. We'll talk about it. Leave a comment. In this video, we'll be talking about 5 fragrances that I think are great alternatives to their much more expensive brother. These fragrances will definitely not hit your wallet nearly as hard as the fragrances that they smell a lot like or have similar vibes to. Jumping right into it is a Walmart exclusive. Depending on where you live or where you're from, the price may fluctuate. I'm not 100% sure how Walmart works with pricing, but around this state in these part of the woods in the South, it's about $20 a bottle. From the House of Cremo, the fragrance is Iced Citron and Driftwood. Iced Citron and Driftwood is a fragrance that has a big time stark similarity to a fragrance from Dior. The fragrance that it smells a whole lot like is this guy right here. This is Dior Homme Cologne, and if you were to read the name of this and then look at this bottle, you're probably gonna see why there's a stark similarity. What you're gonna get from this is Citron, which smells a lot like lemon, and you're gonna get Driftwood. Well, we're gonna call it woods, but they have to make it sound fancy. Driftwood. This is a fresh, inviting, everyday kind of fragrance, and like I said, this can be had for $20. The other one, much more. We know that Dior fragrances MSRP are within the $80 to $120 range. So for 1/4 the price, you can get this sucker right here. And from what I understand, Dior Homme Cologne is supposed to be getting discontinued pretty soon. I've heard rumblings about that. So this may be one of the only options you'll have. And at $20, you can't beat it. From the House of Cremo, Iced Citron and Driftwood. Next up is an alternative to a much, much, much more expensive fragrance, which seems to get more expensive by the day because this brand doesn't care. And what I mean by doesn't care is they will continue to jack the prices up because we continue to pay for it. Fragrance we're talking about that smells a lot like the fragrance I'm holding in my hand is Creed's Original Vetiver. I'm pretty sure if you're a fragrance collector, you know exactly which fragrance I'm talking about. And if you're not, well, you're in for a treat. From the House of MUGLER, Mugler's Cologne. Mugler's Cologne is a clean, fresh, deliciously awesome fragrance. I mean, this smells so clean. Story has it that Thierry Mugler smelt a soap that smelled a lot like this in some fancy hotel, and he decided to recreate it in fragrance. And I don't know how close it is, but I can tell you that this one right here is my go-to. It's time to go to bed. It's time to relax fragrance. I know it's weird. I wear fragrances to bed. I know you think it's weird. Maybe it is, but it works. This is something that I will wear when I just want to feel relaxed, calm, cool, collective. This is sitting underneath a shady tree, relaxing and listening to the birds. You know what I mean? This is that really easy to wear and easy to grab for fragrance. Original Vetiver goes somewhere between $300 and $500 depending on the size of the bottle. I know that sounds ridiculous, but this one can be had on most discounters for 40 to 50 bucks, sometimes even cheaper. And people sell these online all the time for 20 to 30 bucks. I can't remember what I paid for this one. It was like $30 to $40, but for what it costs and what it is, easily one of the best alternative fragrances out there. From the House of Mugler, Mugler Cologne. Next up is a fragrance that I talk a lot about on this channel. I've talked a lot about it recently, and it just keeps popping up in all these videos because it just keeps fitting these bills, these video ideas that I have. It just so happens to fall in almost every one of them. And this one is without a doubt a perfect representation of what this fragrance is about. In my opinion, this fragrance smells a lot like Office for Men from Jeremy Fragrance. Maybe not note for note, but when it comes to what this fragrance is stylistically, this one lends credence to what Office for Men does. Has a synthetic note to it, it's very strong, it's very powerful, but it's easy to wear and it's people pleasing. Anyway, the fragrance we're comparing to Office for Men from Fragrance One and Jeremy Fragrance is Le Super Majeur d'Essai from Issey Miyake. This is a synthetic, clean, straight, linear fragrance that has kind of a sharp metallic fuzziness to it. I know that sounds weird, but what you're gonna get from this is a lot like Office for Men, just a lot cheaper and a lot more synthetic. This can be had for $20 to $30 off of FragranceNet. Office for Men is much more, as you know. But in my personal opinion, you can easily go with this if you're looking for an easy to wear office fragrance that won't break the bank. From the house of Issey Miyake, Le Super Majeur d'Essai. Next up is a fragrance that falls into a category that's pretty popular, Creed Aventus clones. Clones, interpretations, alternatives, duplicates, whatever you want to call it. This brand, which is Mont Blanc, tends to put out fragrances that smell strikingly similar to other fragrances. Individual smells like Original Santal. You have Mont Blanc Legend Spirit, which smells a lot like Invictus Aqua. Mont Blanc Legend, which smells like Abercrombie Fierce. The list just goes on and on and on. And they didn't stop there with their latest release from the house of Mont Blanc, well, one of their latest releases. The fragrance we're talking about is Mont Blanc's Explorer. This smells a lot like this. I'm pretty sure you see from the bottle that they were really trying to create something that looks a lot like or reminds you of this. This is a poor man's version of this. Like with every Creed fragrance, they're not cheap. And this one is exactly that, cheap. Yes, the MSRP inside of a store is somewhere between $70 and $90, but you can buy this on a discounter for much cheaper. And this one has a little less of that pineapple note and goes a little more into the woods. So this one's a little more mass appealing, a little more people friendly. So to be honest with you, to the average person, they may actually like this better. Now, I'm not saying that this is a better fragrance. I'm not saying you should buy this automatically before any other fragrance in the world. But if you're looking for an alternative to Creed Aventus and you're looking to not spend nearly as much money because it's 2020, you should definitely go check out this one from the house of Mont Blanc, Mont Blanc's Explorer. Next up is an alternative to this bad boy right here. This fragrance is easily and without a doubt one of the most popular men's fragrances on the planet. But as we know, the fine folks at Chanel do not like their fragrances to be sold at discounters, and they will stop it in its tracks. If you're looking for a super cheap alternative to this that smells a lot like it, and in some cases smells better than it in my personal opinion, from the house of Burberry, the fragrance is Mr. Burberry. Complete with a super sophisticated little bow, this fragrance right here has a striking and stark similarity to Bleu de Chanel. The peppery nature, the smoothness, the woods, the freshness, the mass appealing vibe, this one encapsulates that. This one's a little more peppery, so this one goes away from the sweeter or creamier or softer natures that you get from Bleu de Chanel and goes more towards its peppery side. But this one's a lot cheaper. So if you're looking for something that's going to wear and get comfortable and kind of dry down to what Bleu de Chanel is for a much cheaper price and a lot easier on your bank account, from the house of Burberry, Mr. Burberry. So if you don't want to pay the price that you would have to pay for fragrances like these, go ahead and check out the ones that I've listed, because in my opinion, they're great alternatives, especially when right now, everyone's trying to watch how they spend. And let's just be honest, fragrance isn't exactly a #1 priority right now. I hope you're doing well wherever you are and whoever you are watching this video. I hope that you've realized that 2020 is starting to come to an end. We've made it through this far, and hopefully the future gets brighter and it gets better. I hope this video has helped you out in some way. I hope it brings you joy if you're into fragrance videos. I hope maybe you gained some knowledge from it. Maybe you found a fragrance that you would buy that you wouldn't ordinarily buy because you just don't have the money for the more expensive version. I don't know. I hope it helped out. What are some alternative fragrances that you really enjoy that definitely saved you a lot of money and you think are criminally underrated? If you know a few, leave them in the comment section below. Maybe we'll make a part 2 to this video. We made it to the point of the video where I would assume you've enjoyed what you've watched and you like what you see. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, leave a like because that lets YouTube and also me know, well, you like the video. And while you're at it, when you subscribe to the channel, because you will, hopefully, ring that notification bell. That way when my videos come out, you, yes, you, will be the first to know. And as always, and most importantly, I'll smell each and every one of you later.